I love driving for dollars. I love them. They're great. But because you drove down the street and that house looked crappy and you put it on your list, that house might have been crappy for 20 years.
You generally lead straight off of internet searches, and then you're putting it in a database and then finding territories, or how's that kind of working then for you, Phil?
In essence, that's what we're working on. I would consider that like the phase 2. So I don't want to jump the gun. What I'm really doing today is finding those people that I might work with in the future for those leads. And so in St. Louis, I'm teaching people right now what I've done to build that channel. And what's the sexiest part about the channel is that once you build it, it's free. You know, we spend a lot of money on all the other types of marketing. We don't need to list them all here, but every other type of marketing we spend money on, right? And they're good too. They have their attributes and why they're good, and some are worse than others, but these are the best. And so I think the older I get, I'm getting to that point where I'd rather talk to 10 people and buy 5 houses than I would want to talk to 150 to buy 5 houses.
Amen. Yeah, that's the truth. More you can streamline things and deal with truly motivated people that want to make something happen versus those that are just tire kickers or kicking the can down the street is for sure, right?
You got it. I'll give you a good example. Like all the phone leads we're getting these days. What do they say? Well, yeah, I'll sell my house for the right price. Only every day do we hear that, right? That's not these type of leads. It's the exact opposite. That they need to sell the house. Their concern is mom's care. This guy is going to, if he does what he says, this takes a whole burden off of us. You know, it's just, you're fishing in the right pond.
Mm-hmm. You know, I could see this working because we get a lot of, with us buying distressed debt, we see a lot of borrowers that are actually the elderly side of things that can't pay their mortgages or can't pay the taxes, or they're living on Social Security. And we deal a lot with the family members on negotiating with that house. Same thing, hey, let's work on something, let's do a deed in lieu or some sort of fashion to help you out and let you walk on the stuff versus taking a foreclosure and not only being on one side. I mean, true win-win is what we all want out there. It makes things a lot better in life, right? So I can see
Yes.
I'm sorry, say that again, Phil.
I try for that every day to find that I feel like the money side in real estate is going to come. I don't worry about that as much. It's if I help the customer the right way and keep my reputation in the senior living, that I know the greater good is still coming. Because think how big of a deal it is when a $50 million senior living community refers to you. Mm-hmm. How much trust they have to have in you, right? And so, like the bandit sign guy, nothing against bandit signs, but like I look at a person that puts out bandit signs versus what I'm doing, they couldn't be further apart from each other.
So shady guy in the corner, they want to buy a watch for me. Come on now.
From an old person. Are you kidding me? It's like, oh, can we make this any worse? And so that's what I'm really teaching is down to the granular level of how all the stakeholders in this senior industry, which is very insulated, wants to be dealt with. And if you unlock it, it's magic. It's really the best thing I've ever found in our business. That's what I'm so excited to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Are you, and I'm sure you are, but besides just the local senior living facilities there in Missouri, you're reaching out to other places in the country?
Yes. And building nationwide networks. And so there's a lot in the data side of when you're starting to go through this with your family, what types of searches you're doing, and you get caught in these webs of this is the time that they need to be talked to, right? For me, everything with marketing, it's a timing thing, right? If the timing is right, we have a value, and if it's not, then they're not really that good at leads. And so even like a driving for dollars, I love driving for dollars. I love them. They're great. But because you drove down the street and that house looked crappy and you put it on your list, that house might have been crappy for 20 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they need to sell, right? And with most other things, it's like even like I'm not here to bash other types of marketing, right? That's
no. We're not at all. Yeah.
Comparatively, these have been the best.